back on the Domino's post-game report alongside Nick Salazar, Mike Philosoph. Rockbusters win at 71-61. Final game numbers brought to you by Bertus Motors. Rockbusters shot 36%, 22 of 61, 11 of 28 on threes, 16 of 20 at the free throw line. They were out-rebounded 44-35, 12 offensive rebounds, 18 turnovers. Rockbusters dished out 14 assists. They had 3 blocks, 11 steals. Bellany scored 18 of her 23 in the first half. Finished 8 of 21, 4 of 11 on threes. All 20 points, 17 for Alyssa Boyce. Denitria McGee with 8. Deja Ross had 3. Pratt shot 30%, 23 of 77. They were 3 of 21 on threes, 12 of 17 from the foul line. 44-35, they win the rebounding battle. 20 offensive rebounds, 19 turnovers, 10 assists. Tatiana Hamad, 16 points, 12 rebounds, recording a double-double. Just her second career double-double. Rachel Tippins, 13 points, 7 boards, 9 for Alexander and 10 rebounds. Jasmine George with 7, 4 apiece for Sanchez and Duvier. Garden City improves to 10 and 17, 5 and 13 of the Jayhawk. Pratt drops to 14 and 13, 8 and 10 in the league play. Take a break, come back. Men's game is next on 99.9 The Rock. Alongside Nick Salazar, Mike Philosoph, as we move into game 2, Rockbuster men and Pratt. And Nick, the Pratt team, as you look at, let's focus on Garden City first. The Rockbusters the other night, as they did the first time they played Northwest Tech, looked like a completely different team, but they're a better team than Northwest Tech. And I asked Patrick Nee, why can't you run those offensive sets consistently against everybody else? I said, Mike, Northwest Tech is not very good defensively, which you made the point. But now you have to try and duplicate that. How do you do it tonight?
Well, it's going to be a lot tougher, to Coach D's point, because I think that, once again, it's eerily similar to the last game we just saw, where on paper, Pratt is a really good defensive team. That being said, on paper, Garden City is a better offensive team than Pratt. However, when you run the numbers, I would say Pratt's a +7 on Garden City at this point, meaning if they played essentially how they've been playing for the duration of the year, if they played 100 possessions, Pratt would win by 7. So Garden City's going to have to find a way to close that gap some. I think the real issue here, which, as you said, for Garden City, it's kind of hit and miss. It's execution. They've got to move bodies. Pratt doesn't give up offensive rebounds. Pratt doesn't shoot the 3 all that well. But the one thing I do notice is that Pratt allows 24 to 26 free throw attempts per game. Garden City's going to have to execute. They're going to have to move bodies. They're going to have to move the ball. They're going to have to get to the free throw line in order to make up that 7 points.
Let's get to the starting lineups tonight. First for the Beavers, 16 and 10. 10 and 7 in Jayhawk Conference play. They start Deontay Davis, 6'2" sophomore from Cleveland, Tennessee, 13 points and 6 rebounds. Joining him is Julian Ekwus, 6'6" freshman from Buffalo, New York, 7 points and 7 rebounds. Tommy Thomas, a 6'3" freshman from Harlem, New York, 7 points, 34% shooting. Carlos Montiel, who played up the road in Hugoton, 6'4" freshman, 1.7 points, 2.5 rebounds. And then rounding it out is John Long in the middle. For head coach Sean Flynn in his second season is 41 and 43. Garden City 9 and 17, 3 and 14 in conference play. They start Derek Bryant, 5'8" freshman from Detroit, 3 points, 1 rebound. Mason Osborne, a 6'4" freshman from St. John, 4 points, 3 rebounds. Talik Chavez, the best three-point shooter in the conference, 6'2" freshman from Arlington, Texas. Deshaun Woods, 6'8" sophomore from Frisco, Texas, 7.5 points. And then Michael Frazier, 6'10" freshman from Salt Lake, averaging 14 points and 5 rebounds. Patrick Nee in his second season as the head coach. For the tip, let's get to the keys.
Well, like I said, I think Garden City execution is the name of the game. And we've said it over and over. When Garden City settles in, runs stuff, gets people playing to their strengths, playing to their roles, they can be really, really difficult to beat. They're a good team offensively when they're disciplined in their stuff. You know, again, if it gets down to a defensive grind, defensive battle, the numbers favor Pratt. Garden City has to find a way. Both teams play about the same speed, the same pace, very evenly matched. Right now, Garden City's gonna have to find a way to score against Pratt's superior defense.
Rockbusters in the home whites. Pratt wearing the black uniforms with the kind of like grayish numerals, which really good on the eyes. Garden City opens moving from left to right, and Pratt, which they've been showing a lot of 3-2 zone on film, they come out, play man-to-man, of course, right? Woods at the nail.
I'm pretty sure they came out showing the zone and then switched the zone.
Woods takes the penalty foul line jumper, 19:36 on the clock here in the first half. Garden City jumps out to a 2-0 lead. Pratt's first possession moving from right to left. Sean Flynn's bench averaging 80 points per game. Drive, right elbow teardrop, missed by Deontay Davis. And off to Frazier, and here comes Garden City from left to right. Davis is coming off that win. Talik Chavez has been in some kind of rhythm offensively. Scored 27 in the minute, 31 against Hodge. Frazier right side, there is an 18-footer.
Don't like the shot initially, but you got to be happy for him that he makes it. The theme from the last game is, hey, get yourself feeling good about your game, get your confidence going. That's a catalyst for Mike to play.
Pratt in possession from right to left. Missed three-quarter by John Long in the left corner. Aaron Bryant the rebound for Garden City. Garden City from right to left. And there's a steal. Away by Tommy Thomas. First Rockbuster turnover. Thomas with air ball to left wing three. Garden City, so the Beavers keep it.
That looked like you or I shooting the transition to that one.
You can't make it.
I don't have enough confidence.
Davis with a step back three. Nails it from the right wing to Pratt. 4-3, Garden City's lead is gone. 2:22 remaining first half. Guard ball left to right. Mason Osborne on the big Garden City G high on the left side against Long. And now a matchup zone from Pratt. Left wing Osborne triples off the right wing. Ricochets back left to the rebound off to Deontay Davis for Pratt.
I'm thinking it's a hybrid. I'm thinking it's a triangle too. First possession, so I think they switched away.
Davis off the mark on a big right three. Pratt. Weak side rebound right to Frazier. Left to right Chavez. Elbow left jumper. Wide right. One-handed rebound by Tommy Thomas for Pratt. Chavez has gotten off to such good starts. Something Patrick Lee alluded to in the postgame the other night. He's not forcing, he's not punting shots. He's finding. He's played enough games now as a freshman. He knows where his shots will come from. Davis around the hook. They set it over Thomas. One-on-one with Osborne. Goes left. Got Frazier to the rim. Flip shot, no. Volleyball in the air and one-handed by Woods. Here comes Garden left to right, up 4-3. One for their first 6 to start the game. Bryant bounce pass high on the left. Woods backing down Thomas back to the basket. Flips it up top. Frazier, 25-foot three. Wide right. Osborne one-hands the offensive rebound. Turn around inside is off the ball. John Long gobbles up the rebound for Pratt. Thomas up top now, head fake. Drop step and a crossover. Left mid post against Woods and puts it in. Strong move by Tommy Thomas. And Pratt has the lead 5-4.
Tough finish there. City had a really good defensive possession. Tommy Thomas just goes over the top and powers one through.
5-4, Pratt by 1. Garden City ball left to right. 3.5 gone by first half. It's a 2-3 looking zone for Pratt. Right on the right, he travels. This switching of defense, hybrid, triangle and 2-2-3. It throws you off, throws us off.
Well, it throws everybody off. And that's why they're doing it, right? And then you just can't find a flow you can't because as the old adage goes, players are playing this. Their feet don't use their hook. That's more athletic than you, but just making it trying to get a handle on what they're doing defensively. Therefore, the current are also struggling to figure out what exactly their pattern is.
Garden City calls an early timeout. It's their ball with Lincoln back. 16-12 on the clock first half. 5-4 Pratt by 99.9. Michael Frazier
Samuels, also number 4, Jordan Spencer. And for Pratt, number 12, Zool Cruz.
Pratt ball from right to left. Maybe tonight, Cruz has started games this year, but tonight he's going to be considered the best six-man in the league. Sophomore from Gallatin, Tennessee, who's 14th in the conference in scoring. That's coming off the bench a lot of times this year. He's also starting a handful of games. Pratt ball dressed in the road flat. At the top of the key, Tommy Thomas, and he said his foot was behind the line. That's a 3 for Thomas, his second triple. 12-7 Pratt, they scored 7 in a row.
That's right for 4 outs.
And then Spencer off the bench, it's good to see. He's not shot the ball well the last 2 games, and he buries an elbow left jumper. 4 out.
Another one on us.
Stop Thomas on one end from Pratt. Nobody can stop Chavez on the right block for Garden. 14-11. Brock Pressers down by 3. That was a 9-2 run for Pratt before that layup. Chavez. Underneath, 13 minutes to go here in the first half. Pratt has the ball from right to left. Thomas kicking out to Cruz. 3-pointers off the line for the right wing until Chavez off the tip wheel has the ball for Garden. Bryant hesitation. Drops it for Spencer in the paint. Lost it and stolen by Horton for Pratt. Third Garden turnover behind the back. Shaking on Chavez and finishes with the left hand. What a move by Horton. He's got 6. 16-11 Pratt. 12-24 to go first down.
Pratt has to take better care of the ball. He's got to go up there with reckless abandon. Kind of got it to romance, man. He's turned it over. He really didn't have anywhere to go.
And Rockbuster was turned over once again. Up to Thomas, right wing in transition, hits his third 3, and that forces Patrick Lee to call a timeout.
Tommy Thomas is 7.5 games. Guns are blazing, right? But since the pull-ups, he's got
14-4 Pratt run. Thomas, a big part of that, nails his third 3. 13 points, 3 rebounds. 19-11 Pratt, timeout number 4 on 99.95. Chavez, his third bucket. 19-13, Garden City within 6 now. 37. Pratt shooting 44%. He came out with 5 of their first 6 shots, but since that one,
Garden City foul number 2, Garrett Lane. That is his first 17 foul.
With 3 threes, all by Tommy Thomas. That last foul by Derek White. His first 17 foul on Garden. Easy run for Zool Cruz, goes all the way to the rim for the right wing to lay it in. His first field goal, 21-13 Pratt. 14 left first half. Chavez has a shot blocked a second time right mid post by Tommy Thomas. Thomas gets it back. Garden City keeps the ball. Emery, wild shot in the paint. The left elbow. Thomas has the loose ball from Pratt. Beavers up 8 with the ball. Knocked away right in line, and Steven Simmons could not save it. Pratt keeps it.
Rocking it out of bounds.
Inbounds to Thomas, low left, this is the layup. Ashley Emery the rebound for Garden City. Thomas is 5 of 9, the rest of the team is 3 of 9. Rockbusters have it, with Emery and Thomas at the right hash mark. Full of feed, right into the seam. He's going against Booth, slams on the brakes and lays it in. Power finish for him. 1:15, Garden City within 6.5 to go first half. Pratt ball from right to left and Booth Gordon. Thomas has been the man. Harrison Egan is on the block. Don Long. Booth left wing 3 over Chavez. Picks off the fire. Offensive rebound, Tommy Thomas. Reset now for the Beavers. They lead it by 6. They've been up by as many as 8. Garden jumped down to a 4-0 lead after Pratt was 5 in the first 6. It's been all Beavers since. Gordon straight on 3. Off the right rim. Rebound tip to Derek Bryant for Garden City. Bryant down the middle to the rim. Lefty layups. Smooth finish and a sneaky move by Derek Bryant for 2. We listen to it. Less than 10 to go here in the first half. Garden City is leading 21-17. Next whistle. Tommy Thomas, left wing 3.
You don't need to see anything. Tommy Thomas.
Everybody on the bench just sat down. Tommy Thomas has knocked down 4 threes. 24-17 Pratt. 9:20 left in the half. Samuels carries a turnaround right elbow jumper for Garden City to pull the Rockbusters within 5. Garden City within 5. 9 to go. Portland with a sidestep against Bryant. Floater off the left foot. No, and the bank. Braylon Spencer the rebound for Garden. Head for Chavez left wing. Pulls it out now and reset with Bryant. Right wing 3 over Long. Got it. Derek Bryant making up for it in a big way offensively.
Isn't it amazing that you see when a player decides to get inside the lane and make something positive? Mistakes are going to happen.
Thomas missing a 3, which Spencer variated slump. Trendon Spencer rebound from Garden City on loose ball foul. Called against Pratt.
His first team foul. Media time.
6-7 sophomore from Gallatin, Tennessee. So that brings us to the under 10-minute timeout. 24-22. Garden City down 2. They scored the last 5. Salazar, Mike Pilasov, Rockbusters who have trailed by as many as 8 are back to within 2 with the ball with a chance to tie or take the lead.
But the point I was making earlier, Mike, you know, you got to give Derek Bryant a lot of credit. As I aptly pointed out, the last 5
Pratt has the ball. Right jumper is good in the paint by Harrison Egan. 26, Garden City 22. 8 minutes to go first half. Rush the ball left to right. Playing well on the ball. Henry left wing for Garden, down by 4. 7:40 left to the half. Switch on top. In right, Chavez. Wrapped around the bounce pass. Low line Spencer coming back left. Goes up an air ball from 5 feet out. And Montiel, the Hugoton native, the rebound for Pratt.
Good job by Garden City recognizing the play and switch the ball. I like the matchup there.
Rebounded by Pratt. Deontay Davis missing 3. Traylon Spencer, the Garden City rebound. And Ashley Emery knocks down left wing 3. 26-25 Pratt, 7:05 remaining first half.
On to the next play.
Actually, the distance from Portland, right wing 3 is short for Pratt. Offensive rebound, Deontay Davis can't finish with the left hand. And Traylon Spencer, a power rebound for Garden City. Ashley Emery has it left wing, feeds Spencer in the post, left side. Overhead pass for Osborne, swing it for Bryant, angle right 3, halfway down, pops out, and Deontay Davis, chest high, two-handed rebound for Pratt. Bryant's first miss, Pratt has it up 26-25, 6.5 to go. Gordon across the 10-second line, redshirt sophomore from Queens, under the New York All-Star team for Pratt. Gordon hits every part of the rim in that soft shooter's bounce on the right side. It dies on the back rim and then just drops in the back. 28-25 Pratt, 6.5 remaining in the first half. Blockbuster ball left to right. Bryant's pass right side. Down right Pratt.
And for Pratt, 23-time Thomas also
5 turnovers.
Pratt
Pratt scored 10 points off those mistakes. They are making their pay. Pratt forces 15 turnovers a game. Grayson's back in, he's got it low right. Turns out right, he fucking beats it. A refined post game for the sophomore trip, the freshman transfer from Boise State.
Keep doing that, we'll be all right. Very, very hard.
27 Pratt by 1, they've got it right to left. Pratt is back in, he's got it nailed down the left lane line, goes right by Chavez on a blow by. You can tell these skilled offensive weapons that Sean Flynn has. 30-27, Blockbusters down by 3 with 5.5 to go.
The secondary defender. Players over the top of the
Cradles the ball before dribbling right into Montiel at the top of the key. Foul on Carlos Montiel, the freshman from Hugoton. 17 fouls. Coming in, Garden scores the first score. Pratt misses 5 of the first 6 shots. And all of a sudden, Tommy Thomas arrives, knocks down 4 threes. Pratt puts an 8-point lead. Garden cut it down to 2. Raymond Spencer sits at 3 right now. Spencer misses a left corner 3. And a rebound off to Pratt. That was Eckler. Beavers have it right to left. Sitting at 10-7 conference play. Here is Pratt on the drive, left wing, slashing right to the block. Drawing a foul on Talik Chavez, and again, no rotation.
On number 5, Talik Chavez. His first foul, third team foul. And 122 shots will be Azul with.
It's not, to be fair, it's not entirely his fault. The primary defender has to shoot the guy in front, but he's got to know.
Number 11, Sean Lewis.
Ball dressed in white, back left to right. Back to man
Checking in for Garden City, number 14, Steven Samuels.
Mason Osborne and Steven Samuels. Rochester shooting 48%. 9 on threes. They're coming off the game. They blew out Northwest Texas. 20 in the second half. Tech actually cut that. 5 in the final couple of minutes.
Basically, the bench
Down right wing is feed. Aaron. Way intercepted by Edwards. 6-guard city turnover. Hickley then runs to the block. Hit a ball in the right pocket. Air ball. And Frazier scoops it out of the sky. Garden City. John has lost it. Saved by Osborne in the right corner. It was left to the ring. Now they move it to the other side to Deshaun Woods. Chance on that pit. Frazier has it knocked away. Right back to Woods. Up top Frazier. 28-footer. And out. Teal Scott's reset rebound. Frazier 0 for 3 from downtown. He was 0 for 4 the other night. He did not shoot the ball well beyond the three-point line against Hutch. Now Pratt has it with 4 minutes to go in the half. 32-27. High post left side improve. Wing right at Pratt. Three-pointer. Wide to the right. Rebound Mikey Frazier again. So there's one thing Frazier's done well in the first half. It's rebounding the basketball.
He has played very physical. He has owned the block on the offensive end, and when they've thrown it to him, he's scored. He can do his own worst enemy. The guy can score 25 points if he's committed to doing the work out on the block.
John has lets it go right wing for Garden City. Three that's off the mark. A rebound for Pratt. Back right to last court. Not waiting for anybody. Driving right. And Mikey Frazier and lays it in with the right hand.
Bad transition defense there. Typically, you want two guys back. You want one to stop the ball, one to protect the basket. Both players are sort of in no man's land, and he ended up going right through the middle of both of them.
6-0 Pratt run. 34-27 deep. 3 minutes to go in the half. Clock runs the ball. Frazier drops it. Mighty Hook puts it in again against West. He's done that move 2 or 3 times, all with success.
Right, and I was going to say, I don't know what his field goal numbers is, but my guess is that he's made almost every shot around the basket.
He's 3 for 6, 6 points, 6 rebounds. Timeout Garden City, 3:03 to go. First half, 34-29 Pratt on 99.9. Timeout for Pratt. Grabs his own miss. Misfires right elbow. Mason Osborne, the Garden City rebound. So outside Nick Salazar by Kosov. 2.5 to go first half. 34-29 Pratt. Garden ball left to right. Woods, Samuels, Osborne, Bryant, and Frazier. Chavez gets a rest. What does the offense come here? Frazier high on the left. 10 to shoot. Working on Eku. Step back. 18-footer. Puts it in. Frazier's got 8 points, 6 rebounds. Garden City back to within 3, 34-31.
You feed them.
Frazier and Chavez were magnificent offensively against Northwest Tech. Our zone and 2 minutes to go first half. Garden within 3. Marteel for the threes in high school. He's off the walk on a left wing triple. Eku the offensive rebound. Dishes for Harrison Egan.
Garden City foul.
Just in high school.
On number 14, Steven Samuels. That's his.
1 of 17.
Well, he's 1 of 17, so
Team
apparently
score.
he forgot how to shoot.
At the line, taking 2 shots will be
It's not a bad
Egan.
three-point shot. He didn't shoot a lot of threes in high school. But against Garden City,
Mike Frazier could just go down there and bully people.
Spencer also
This
number
lineup,
5
I
to
mentioned earlier,
Gillette.
so this is the first free throw. So many players from Europe. They're such a talent pool in Europe. We talked about this on the game set. You had a couple.
Scott. Steal. Pro right there. Left player.
Egan 1 or 2. They even went to Western New York to get Eku. Buffalo, New York. Rockbusters have it. Chavez back in the game. Down 4. Frazier forcing it up right arm. Hit 2, and that's all.
Totally confident about the right side.
Thomas is back in. He grabbed that rebound. Flies in. Take a push shot from the left block. No
Now, number 22, Grayson Egan, his first foul, 14 foul.
Half of the first half. Shocking.
It's 0 for 4 on threes and a touch. It's 4 of 7. That's how it always works. I always say regression to the mean. That's just the exact opposite.
Excited.
Just make it. 124 to go for I write a 30-page paper on senior year statistics class in communications. Frazier missed 5 his left in three from Garden City. 30-page paper. I went back and read it. I went back and read it myself. Like page 3, I was already snoring. Pratt has it right to left, leading 35-31. To go for check. 1-1.
Ineffective, right? So we're talking about Pratt trying to mix this up in order to stifle Garden City's flow, and it appears that Coach Nee sort of had that same mindset. These teams are very evenly matched.
Just forced a turnover just the second of the half for Pratt. Bryant on a stutter step move down the lane, no. Frazier with the offensive rebound, left and hook. Couldn't get it to fall. Montiel, rebound for Pratt. So, Frazier, 8 points.
I was going to say, I really missed a shot, but I'm much more comfortable with him taking shots like that all night than we had in the previous game.
There's a matchup zone here for Garden City. Three-pointer good by Egan from the left wing. Only his 4th made 3 all year. Pratt 38, Garden City 31, 13 seconds to go first half. Egan has the last 4 for Pratt. Final 10 seconds. Top of the key, Chavez. Wing right, Frazier, 3. Answers back. Mikey Frazier, 11 points, 7 rebounds in the first half. And that ends the opening period. Garden City with a 38-34 deficit at the break. 4-point Pratt lead. Pratt hits 5 threes in the first half. 4 by Thomas and 1 by Harrison Egan. Doesn't shoot a lot of threes.
It really doesn't, but again, that, as you and I have worked together here the last couple of weeks, that really hasn't been a whole lot. Really happy with the way that Garden City has finished that half. Again, Mike Frazier playing well inside, gets the 3 to go down. Right there with us, we knew that the numbers indicated it would be close. Garden City's got to find a way to just get over the hump in the second half.
38-34, Garden City down 4 at the break. Fourth halftime reports next on 99.9 The Rock.
Experience Squad. Garden City Community College Spirit Squad under the direction of Mrs. Stephanie Mann. As it's time for the Papa John scoring summary for that first half. First for Pratt. Deontay Davis had 3 points. Tommy Thomas had 13 points. Janelle Horton had 10 points. Zul Quaith had 6 points. And Harrison Egan had 6 points. Pratt was 14 of 37 from the field for 38%. They were 5 of 6 from the free throw line for 83%. They had 20 total rebounds in the first half. They had 15 defensive rebounds and 5 offensive rebounds. They were led in rebounding by Tommy Thomas, who had 5. For Garden City, Derek Bryant had 5 points. Talik Chavez had 7 points. Deshaun Woods had 2 points. Michael Frazier had 11 points. Traylon Spencer had 2 points. Stephen Samuels had 4 points. And Nog Ashley Emery had 3 points. Garden City was 15 of 34 from the field for 44%. They did not shoot a free throw in the first half. They had 19 total rebounds, 16 defensive, 3 offensive. They were led in rebounding by Michael Frazier, who had 7 points. And your score at half is Pratt Community College 38, Garden City 34.
Back on the Morton's halftime report, courtside here at Conestoga Arena, alongside Nick Salazar, Mike Philosoph. The Brockbusters are down by as many as 8. They are down 4 at the break. Take a look at your first half game recap, brought to you by Garden City Community College. The future starts now. It was the Brockbusters getting off to the good start, jumped out to a 4-0 lead, but then 5 straight Pratt points ensued. Played 3 minutes of the first half, 4-3 Garden City. Pick and roll action here with Montiel and Thomas. Thomas up top, now head fake, drop step and a crossover. Left mid post against Woods and puts it in. Strong move by Tommy Thomas, and Pratt has the lead 5-4. Pratt up 5-4 there. Brockbusters answer with a Talik Chavez 3 to make it 7-5, but they pretty much bottled up Chavez in the first half. He took 7 shots to score 7 points. Meantime, Pratt took a 7-7 game. That's when Mikey Frazier was called for a technical foul. Horton hits 2 free throws, part of a 7-0 run after a Thomas 3, made it 12-7. And then it was Horton dazzling with some beautiful behind-the-back dribbling. Bryant hesitation, drops it for Spencer, in the paint, lost it and stolen by Horton for Pratt. Third Garden turnover, behind the back, shaking off Chavez and finishes with the left hand. What a move by Horton. He's got 6, 16-11 Pratt, 5-point Beaver lead. All part of the bigger 14-4 run that ends with a Thomas 3 that made it 19-11 8 minutes into this game. Derek Bryant, Nick pointed out, made a couple of mistakes, which he did defensively and on the offensive end, but came back a couple of possessions in a row, getting the Brockbusters back in it. It's been all Beavers since. Horton straight on 3. Off the right rim, rebound tip to Derek Bryant for Garden City. Bryant down the middle, to the rim, lefty layups. Smooth finish and a sneaky move by Derek Bryant for 2. 21-17, Bryant wasn't finished. Next possession for Garden City. Ahead for Chavez, left wing, pulls it out now and reset with Bryant. Right wing three over long, got it. Derek Bryant making up for it in a big way offensively. That pulled Garden City to within 2, 24-22. Emery hits a three later to make it 26-25. Pratt's lead was 1, but the Brockbusters had a problem stopping dribble penetration, which was set up by Horton.
Out on the block.
Chavez lets it go right wing for Garden City at 3. That's off the mark. Horton the rebound for Pratt. Beavers back right to left. Horton not waiting for anybody. Driving right at Mikey Frazier and lays it in with the right hand. If you're Patrick Neen, you're looking at your team. That's inexcusable. That puts Garden City down 34-27. 6 quick points for Pratt. Brockbusters respond. More specifically, Mikey Frazier with the answer. Where does the offense come here? Frazier high on the left. 10 to shoot, working on Ekwu. Step back, 18-footer, puts it in. Frazier's got 8 points, 6 rebounds. Garden City back to within 3, 34-31. So Frazier makes it 3, and after Pratt stretches it to 7, it's Frazier from downtown. Top of the key, Chavez. Wing right, Frazier 3, answers back. Mikey Frazier, 11 points, 7 rebounds in the first half, and that ends the opening period. So Frazier for the Brockbusters hits the jumper and then a 3. So he scores the last 7 points in the first half for Garden City. In fact, go back even further. He actually scored the last 9. 9 straight points to close the half for Frazier. And Garden City at the break down 38-34. Take a timeout, come back with your first half numbers after this. It's Pratt 38, Garden City 34 on 99.9 The Rock. Back on the Morton's halftime report alongside Nick Salazar, Mike Villasoff, 38-34. Brockbusters down 4 at the intermission. Let's take a look at your first half numbers brought to you by Burtis Motors. Garden City shot 44%, 15 of 34. They were 4 of 13 on threes. Incredibly, they did not shoot a single free throw in the first half. And you're talking about a Garden City team that averages 26 free throw attempts per game. That is 7th most in the nation. And they had none in the first 20 minutes. They out-rebounded Pratt 20-19, 3 offensive rebounds, 6 turnovers, which led to 10 Pratt points. They had 11 assists and 1 steal. Mikey Frazier led the way, 11 points, 7 rebounds. He was 5 of 11, 1 for 5 on threes. Chavez, 7 points, 3 boards, 5 for Derek Bryant, 4 for Steven Samuels. Pratt shot 38%, 14 of 37, 5 of 19 on threes, 5 of 6 at the line, -1 on the glass, 4 offensive rebounds, 2 turnovers, 6 assists, 1 block, and 4 steals. And Tommy Thomas had himself a half, knocked down 4 threes, which ties the season high. He also had 4 threes in a game against Otero back on November 2nd. Jamel Horton, 10 points, 4 of 10 shooting, 6 apiece for Queth and Egan. That rounds out the scoring. Back in 30 after this. Start the second half on 99.9 The Rock. Alongside Nick Salazar, Mike Villasoff getting set to start the second half at Conestoga Arena, 38-34 Pratt. So what's the keys now for the second half for Garden City?
Well, I have some concerns. The reason why I have some concerns, first of all, we had a very slow pace that favors Pratt. Pratt, honestly, I think quietly really guarded us well. A lot of people may say, well, you're only down 4, and that's absolutely true. That being said, our efficiency isn't very good. I thought the one place we could sort of Pratt could be had defensively was at the free throw line, and as you mentioned before the break, Garden City did not get to the free throw line. So if all things don't, if nothing changes, I see Pratt pulling away, and assuming, of course, that they continue to play at the level they're playing at.
First possession, a wing right to left block backdoor pass from Davis to Long. Long lays it in. Pratt 40, Garden City 34, 30 seconds gone by here in the second half. Pratt opens up in a 2-3 zone. Frazier, who scored the last 9 Brockbuster points, is fouled, right elbow, hit on the arm. Was it in the act or before the shot? I believe they're going to say in the act. So really it's been Mikey Frazier and nobody else.
Nobody else.
Which look, the rest of the conference, they know the scouting report now, and they are zoned in on number 5.
That being said, you'd wonder if Garden City has any other shooters on the roster. Now would be the time to sort of put them in the game. Earlier we were kind of going back and forth with, are they in a box and 1? Are they in a, some sort of hybrid defense, a triangle and 2?
Frazier misses the second after hitting the first, and the rebound. Chavez battling forward with Ekwu, and it's knocked off of Pratt.
When you have multiple shooters in the game, it can be very, very difficult to play a hybrid defense like a triangle and 2 or a box and 1.
And on the inbounds pass for Chavez for Garden City down by 5, an offensive foul and a legal screen on a push-off on Mikey Frazier, who's now scored the last 10 points for Garden City.
In fact, our rule was if you have 3 shooters in the game, you can't really junk them up. It just doesn't work. And so, again, if it's something that they're going to try and employ here in the second half, you'd say, well, let's get some shooters on the floor and let's see if we can't stretch them out some.
Pratt has it with Montiel, Davis, Ekwu, Tommy Thomas with 4 first-half threes to tie a season high, and John Long. Pratt with the ball up 40-35, minute gone by second half. Ekwu high post, wants back door, and he throws it away. Woods intercepts for Garden City. Racing down the middle, going at Ekwu. Turns, spins, and fires left wing Chavez. Up top Bryant, right corner Osborne. Feeds the post, right block Frazier. And a righty hook is off the mark. And a one-handed chest-high rebound with the left hand. Deontay Davis brings it down for Pratt.
Really good possession, though, for Garden City. Everybody touched it. It ended with Michael Frazier on the right block, getting a shot that's very makeable for him. Just missed. But, again, that's the kind of possessions we need if we're going to, again, find a way to chip into this little bit of a lead that they have.
Meantime, Ekwu hitting Deontay Davis on a give and go inside, and Davis finishing smoothly with the left hand. 42-35 Pratt, 18-20 remaining here in the second half. Mikey Frazier, yes, and one right block. He has scored the last 12 points for Garden City, and the Blockbusters get back in it, down by 5.
I think I said earlier in the first half, you got to keep feeding him because so far he's been your only source of offense. That being said, if you feed him enough, eventually they'll start to sink in. It's only natural, which in that case it can free up some of your shooters and your perimeter players.
But that's what we've been saying, not all season, because he's only been eligible since the second semester.
Well, to be fair, I do feel like Garden City is figuring it out. I mean, Coach Nee wants to say, well, we were playing against a bad team the other night, but again, I thought that trying to develop an identity, I've said it a few times this season so far, and that is trying to figure out what exactly they're doing on offense. What are they good at? Where can people score? And it just takes time to figure it out, and I feel like we're trending towards figuring those things out.
Mikey Frazier completed the three-point play, and then Thomas hit on the other end. Meantime, Frazier missing for Garden City. Thomas, the Pratt rebound. It's 44-36 Pratt. 2.5 gone by second half. Pratt ball left to right. Montiel, one dribble, coming to his left. Right wing sets up Davis for a three off the back rim. Mason Osborne, the weak side rebound for Garden City. Pratt is 5 of 20 from long range. Woods has it low post right against the smaller Thomas. Turns to his right, and a hook shot flailing away is off the back rim. And lassoing the loose ball, Deontay Davis, his 5th rebound. He's got 2 points. And nobody besides Michael Frazier has done anything. Left elbow pull-up Thomas, short for Pratt. Offensive rebound, Ekwu. Shovels on the block for Montiel. Reset with Long, and a three is good from the right wing.
Garden City never really got matched up out of the scramble on that defensive possession. And that's what I was saying about us offensively. Pratt hits the ball on the block, and then they naturally sink in, which opens up the three.
Chavez misfiring a left wing triple, and the rebound off to Montiel for Pratt. They've got it now up 47-38.
Tenuous here. Garden City definitely needs a good defensive possession and a rebound.
Pratt with the ball from left to right, Long with a head fake. Goes left to the top of the key, and shuffling the feet that time is Tommy Thomas, and a Pratt turnover.
Well, we'll take that defensive possession. They get the turnover. Now we need to get a score. So you like this, right? So I said earlier, can we get more shooters on the floor? Here comes Kyler Lamb, who absolutely, this is his role, right? And so if there ever was a time for him to come in and do his thing, now would be the time, because we've done a good job so far. We've gone inside, 3 straight possessions. You would think that should be able to free up and space the floor some.
The Blockbusters get anybody else going. Finally, somebody other than Mikey Frazier scores from the wing right.
And there's a sandwich for us, and a defensive mistake on Pratt's part. Again, in part because we've gone inside, we've post-entered, sinks in, defensive mistake, lack of focus. We go under a ball screen, and you can't do that with Chavez.
So Chavez hits a 3 right wing, and then on the other end, it's Horton right elbow, knocking one down from 15 for Pratt. 49-41 Beavers. 15:37 to go in the second half. Blockbuster ball right to left. Lamb, Chavez, and Frazier just, locked up.
Why is he standing? Why is he standing at the 10-foot line for the volleyball team? Right? Get him back under the block.
That's, to your point, we're beating a dead horse.
Especially because Deshaun Woods is so much better at the high post. Again, I understand that Mike hits the 3, and that's part of his game, but the quote-unquote 4s that we have are so much more long and athletic, and they kind of have a feel for diving to the basket. Mike is just so much better at the low post than he is at the high.
Davis splashes a 3 for Pratt from the right wing, and the Beavers have their largest lead of the game, 52-41, 15-10 to go. Davis, his 2nd field goal. Blockbusters have it now down 11. Lamb's pass left wing for Woods on the left baseline is kicked. And they reset the shot clock to 20. So if you're tuning in now, Garden City was down by as many as 8 in the first half. They closed within 1. They were within 4 at the break. They've been outscored 14-7 here in the second half. And really, Mikey Frazier at one point had scored 12 straight points. Bryant, kick it left corner. Chavez with a head fake, a 3, and he's got it.
That's a big shot.
Third 3 for Talik Chavez, starting to heat up.
Again, Garden City didn't shoot the ball badly in the first half at all, but didn't shoot it well either. And so the fact that he's kind of gotten off to a quick start is
Davis hitting one off from the sideline left. Deontay Davis ring it up from 30 feet without any hesitation. Pratt has hit 8 threes tonight, 55-44.
He shot that baby with some confidence, didn't he? Man.
I don't even think he left his feet. 11-point Pratt lead. Garden City has it from right to left. Nearly 6 minutes gone. Frazier finally gets one to drop from the top of the key at 3. So it's raining threes here in the second half. The Blockbusters call a timeout. 55-47 Pratt. 14-17 to go here in the second half on 99.9 The Rock. It's been an incredible stretch for Mikey Frazier offensively. He has scored 16 of the last 22 Garden City points, but his team's down 8, 14-10 remaining second half. Pratt ball left to right, 55-47 Pratt. Queth is back in with Horton, Davis, Tommy Thomas, and Ekwu. Garden City in a 1-3-1 or maybe a 2-3.
I think it's kind of a matchup 2-3.
Left corner Davis, head fake, step back, 3 over Chavez. Off the right rim, Quet there though on the offensive glass to tip it home left block.
Gotta clear that rebound. Again, those are the kinds of things that you just can't have happen. Good defensive possession, hands high, force tough shot, and then you give up an offensive rebound.
Chavez on the other end from the left sideline, a 3, and that's a deep 28-footer for Chavez. He's got 16.
I mean, we're taking body blows, but at least we're standing and we keep, counter punching back. But you worry, like, how long can we continue to keep that up,
Chavez and Frazier have the last 25 blockbuster points. Queth missing an angle right 3. Frazier another blockbuster rebound. Garden City has it from right to left.
The worst thing that could happen here is if we settle for a bad three-pointer. And we have got to get the ball. Mike's played well, but I was going to say, I think Coach Nee was trying to get him out, and I actually like that move because, Mike hit a 3. And so far, Mike has not showed the ability or the patience to not let one fly when he's made one. Sometimes that can be detrimental, and I do think we're kind of at a critical point in the game here.
Garden City has it. Traylon Spencer's in. Righty hook, and he becomes the first player since Naj Ashley Emery with 7 minutes to go in the first half to score other than Frazier or Chavez, and he cuts the lead to 5.
Well, and it's got to be somebody like him, right? That's the mark of a good team, is that when that first line goes down and sits on the bench, you have to have somebody that can go in there and make something happen while the starting person is on the floor. And I think both of the post players they have in there right now are capable of doing that, and they need to make something happen offensively and defensively. They got to make a play.
Pratt has it left to right. There's Davis missing a finger roll at the rim for Pratt. Kyler Lamb.
Good for Kyler, clearing that tough rebound.
Weak side rebound for Garden City. Blockbusters down by 5. Chavez forcing one up deep on the left side of 3, and he was fouled. He missed the shot. And the way he started the second half against Northwest Tech the other night, fouled shooting a 3, and now he has 3 free throws and a chance to cut that 11-point deficit down to 4. Or if I can add right, it would be down to 2.
Well, that was halfway down, and that would have been, one of those big-time plays, game-changing sort of plays, where you could get the team really starting to believe that they could run with Pratt down the stretch.
That first free throw, Chavez and Frazier have now scored 26 of the last 28. Chavez hits the second of 3. Like how I did that, they were down 5, and I said, well, if he hits all 3, they're down by 4. Tells you it's a long day.
So a minute ago when you were talking about regression analysis and all of that, it was what?
There's smoke coming out of the stat machine.
I was going to say, so we wrote a 30-page paper in statistics, but apparently we failed arithmetic.
Well, that's clear. I've made more math mistakes broadcasting than anybody.
You went into radio, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why.
You know your role, huh?
8 straight points. I've been told several times.
A man knows his strengths and his weaknesses.
8 straight points for Garden. They're within 2 as Chavez hits all 3 free throws. Pratt ball from left to right. Davis posting Lamb. That's too easy, right block, and he lays it in.
And that's the tough thing, Kyler's in there to stretch the defense and possibly make a 3, but you just wonder if Pratt's smart and knows that they can just go right in there and do something like that. And
Ashley Emery to Steven Samuels, right block. Samuels lays it in, plus the foul, and a chance for a 3-point play for Garden City.
Again, we needed Traylon Spencer and Steven Samuels to kind of keep the boat afloat here while Mike's on the bench, and so far so good. They both have scored here in his absence.
Davis picks up the foul, his first. And a free throw here for Samuels. Got it to go. 3-point play completed. Garden City from down 11 is to within 1.
It's
an
an
11-2 run.
Defensive possession here is all we need. 1 possession at a time.
11-2, blockbuster run. Davis on the dribble drive. Pull up foul line. Jumper, and he banks it in. Why not? Pratt 61, Garden 58. 11:57 to go. And Davis heating up now. He's got 12 points. Doing some damage in the second half. All 12 coming since the break. He was scoreless over the first 20 minutes. Ashley Emery pulls the trigger on a right wing 3s. Halfway down, pops out to Egan. A left end line rebound. And then Horton throws a cut fastball from the right quarter court to the left end line. And I think it hit Queth on the back of the head.
I was going to say, he threw a strike. He hit his man right between the eyes.
Turnover number 5 for Pratt. Beavers average 16 turnovers per game. 8th in the conference. They are coming off a game where they got blown out by Hutch. They were down by as many as 30 in the second half. Now remember, rewind back a couple of weeks where they trailed by 6 at the break against Hutch and then came back and won in overtime. Despite Josh Baker hit a couple of game-tying shots in that one, but the Beavers prevailed in overtime. They end up splitting the season series with Hutch. The Beavers have been hot as of late. They come in winners of 6 out of their last 8. Blockbusters have it, low left, Spencer. Turnaround righty hook, wide to the right. He continues to struggle. Davis, a rebound on the right block for Pratt, and he's fouled by Kyler Lamb.
I like the look, though, there. I think that's exactly the kind of shot you needed to get in order to continue to keep this thing going. Got to save it with your D.
First foul on Lamb, Garden City's second team foul. Pratt ball left to right. They lead 61-58. Horton and Queth, Davis, Egan, and Tommy Thomas, who's tied a career high with 4 3-point makes tonight. Queth straight away, chest pass for Horton, one-on-one against Chavez. Blockbusters in a man-to-man. Horton right wing, goes left with a stutter step. Into the lane, falls down, saves it. Up top for Thomas with 10 to shoot. Driving on Ashley Emery and is fouled in the act of shooting. Patrick Nee wanted to travel. I don't think that was a travel. Now, you're the coach. You tell me.
I don't think it was a travel either. I think that you get real excited, again, when you feel like your team has generated a turnover and you're guarding hard and you're guarding well. It can be very easy to see those possessions with rose-colored glasses.
Little biased. Foul on Ashley Emery puts Tommy Thomas at the foul line, and he misses the first of 2. The freshman.
Where have you gone? Tommy Thomas,
yes.
Right? You haven't called his name in at least an hour, right?
Harlem, New York native. 70% free throw shooter, hit 4 threes in the first half. Free throw, the second one is good. He rattles it in.
I was going to say, I'm going to be careful to knock on the wooden table here because I don't want Tommy Thomas to rekindle the fire that he had for the first part of the game and then beat us.
Thomas was raised by his aunt who passed away back in November of 2018. Samuels on the drive to the rim, wing to baseline right. The shot hit the top of the backboard and then drops in. It never hit the shot clock. Do they count that?
They don't. But
they don't.
There's my man, Steven Samuels, doing what he does, right?
So Samuels a couple of free throws.
Backdoor cut.
Garden City down 62-58, 10:47 to go. More on Thomas. Raised by his aunt, passed away back in November of 2018, suffered a stroke. He ended up moving in with his brother, Daquan, who worked at Panera Bread just to support his family. 16.8 rebound per game score. And by the way, if you're going to work anywhere, I love Panera Bread.
I mean, my hat's off to you with the research, buddy. I mean, you know where Tommy Thomas's brother worked?
Hey, could probably tell you the last four of his MasterCard, too.
I was going to say, maybe we should be applauding the Pratt SID for getting that information out, huh?
Samuels hits the first free throw and then misfires on the second, and Ekwu has the rebound for Pratt.
Surely that's the first time in your illustrious career you've used the Panera Bread reference, huh?
Yeah, I don't think that's ever happened before. I can say that with all the confidence in the world. So Pratt has it back from left to right. Ekwu underneath, lays it in, plus the foul. And a chance for a three-point play.
So earlier we were talking about how Mike Frazier sometimes does not rotate over. In that case, Traylon Spencer did a great job of rotating over and helping, but you need a guard then to fall back into the lap and what we would say help the help. Or you can give a dump up, and that's exactly what happened. Luckily for us, they missed the free throw. Haven't had a good offensive possession here in a while. We probably need to do that at this point.
64-59. Garden City down by 5. Spencer is fouled on the right elbow. Garden City is down by 5.
And, I think Garden City is, when they're in that structure and they're running that high 1-4 stuff, they look really good. And so I'm hats off to Coach Nee, getting us slowed down, getting us into something that we do well. And again, Traylon Spencer really does make a play because I don't know that he really had a play there. But to get himself to the free throw line was smart and exactly what we needed.
First free throw for Traylon, and it pulls Garden City to within 4 with 10:08 to go. So this game is right there for the taking, as was the last one between these two teams as Spencer hits both. 64-61, Garden City within 3. Coming up on 10 minutes to play here in the second half. Pratt is led by as many as 11. Garden a 1-3-1. High post right side, Ekwu. Dishes straight away for Horton, who's got 12 points and 4 rebounds. To the left wing, pull up, got it over Samuels. Tough jumper by Horton. 14 points on 6 of 12.
He let that one go, and my instinct was, oh good, he took a bad shot, and he made it.
The transfer from Seward County, keeping Pratt in front. They're up by 5. Blockbuster ball from right to left. Mason Osborne left wing. They come with a double. Straight away for Spencer. One dribble, pulls up for 3. That's off. Deshaun Woods tracks down the offensive rebound. Reset for Garden City. They are 8 of 20 on threes. Frazier and Chavez have combined for 37 of the 61. Spencer wing right, flips for Chavez left wing, comes back right, crossover left. Dishes right corner. Osborne triple. He's got it. Osborne from downtown, and it's a 2-point game.
Great play, great setup. They go that hammer action. They flare for Chavez. Of course, that gets everybody on Pratt's attention. He then puts the ball on the floor, gets dribble penetration, gets to the rim, and then finds an open shooter. And good teammate makes the shot, gives him an assist.
The Chavez assist brings Garden City to within 2. Chain of defense. Pratt ball with 10 to shoot. Horton elbow left jumper over Chavez. Wide right. Chavez the rebound for Garden City. And then we have a whistle. And they just called a flop warning on Jamel Horton, which is just a warning. 8:38 to go in the second half. And that brings us to the under 10-minute timeout. Garden City has the ball. A chance to tie or take the lead. They have not led. You got to go all the way back to the first half. Their last lead was 7-5. They have a chance to tie it or take the lead when we come back on 99.9 The Rock. Eight and a half to go here in the second half alongside Nick Salazar, Mike Pilosoff. Garden City down 2, 66-64, a chance to tie or take the lead. Spencer feeds Osborne left corner. Left wing for Frazier, who's back in. Reverse it now to Woods. Right a Spencer pick. Spencer rolls to the rim. He's got it now there. Drop step against Quett. 8 to shoot. Lefty hook from the right block is short. And a chest-high two-handed rebound by Montiel. His 5th for Pratt. Coming up on 8 minutes to go in the second half. Beavers with it. They've led by as many as 11. Davis at the top has all 12 of his points here in the second half. Queth wing right, 8 points, 3 of 8. Hands back to Davis coming back left. Montiel on the Garden City type, left side of the floor. Took an extra step, they didn't call it. Sets up Queth, deep 3 straight on. Barely ticks iron for Pratt. Mikey Frazier, the Bronxbuster rebound. And again, Garden can tie or take the lead down 66-64 with 7:40 remaining. Osborne wing to wing on the right side. Bryant 3. Air ball sails left to Tommy Thomas for Pratt. And 2 possessions, a chance to tie or take the lead. And 2 possessions, they don't score.
That being said, it's all positive though, because I said at the beginning of or at the end of the first half, Garden City, even though they were close, was kind of on pace. They were not really playing that well. Pratt was sort of quietly pulling away. Garden City has increased their efficiency from 89 to 110.
And how about this? Horton gets a screen, a ball screen from Queth, goes down the middle of the lane and takes off from just outside the restricted arc. But the Bronxbusters take the charge. Offensive foul called against Pratt. And it should be on Horton. I don't know why they have Montiel's number on there. That's the first on Horton. And that's Pratt's 6th turnover. Boy, Horton showing a little elevation. And now the Bronxbusters have it again. 3rd possession with a chance to tie or take the lead. Down 2, 66-64. They run that Tyler play with Frazier this time on the high post. Up top for Bryant, going left to the wing. Step for step with him is Tommy Thomas. Straight away Frazier, dumps it down for Spencer. Low left, spin move, head fake, dream shake, and a righty hook is no good, but a foul.
I sure like that they decided to go inside. Efficiency-wise at halftime, even though we had a 4-point game, Pratt, if you look at the numbers, was efficiency-wise up 16, right? Which may not mean a whole lot to people, but since that time, so in the second half, we've shrunk it to about 10, which means, again, Garden City is absolutely in the game. They've changed. They've done some stuff that has bothered Pratt. And really what I think it is they've gotten to the free throw line. In the first half, did they go to the free throw line in the first half? Not at all. And so as of right now, that's their 12th free throw, and they're shooting them well. And I think that was a big key in the game, was for them to be able to get to the free throw line. And so far, that's been a big difference in this half.
By the way, I stand corrected. That offensive foul was Tommy Thomas. And then Spencer fouled on the other end, and he knocks down 2 free throws. And now we're tied for the second time tonight. 66 all, Bronxbusters back from 11 down. And it's Pratt ball left to right. 6:50 to go in the second half. Beavers shooting 46%, Garden City at 45. Bronxbusters with 2 in double figures, Beavers with 3. Pratt ball left to right, Queth, righty hook in the lane, no. Tap back good by who else but Tommy Thomas.
Well, and Traylon Spencer, looked like Tommy Thomas went over Traylon Spencer's back, because I thought he had offensive position defensively to get the rebound.
Broncbusters with the ball. Frazier down the middle. And I'm going to stand corrected again. That was not Thomas. That was Egan on the tap back. We'll wipe off the bucket that I counted for Thomas. And add it for Egan. 68-66. Now Mikey Frazier to the free throw line. Broncbusters down 2. Frazier free throw no good. Frazier on the year is shooting 80%.
Short memory, make the second one.
Second free throw is good. 1 of 2 makes it a 1-point game. 68-67, Pratt by 1, 6:14 to go. Beaver ball left to right. Garden City matching up in a zone here. Ekwu elbow right, straight away Horton gets a ball screen from Ekwu. They jump out on him. End line right feed for Egan. Turnaround 10-footer, no. Offensive rebound. Ekwu misses the layup attempt, and he was pushed to the ground and fouled. That's an easy call right in front of the official. Although they did make it late.
But as we said earlier, it's easy to get excited, right? You think you've generated a stop, and so you're, here we go, off to the races. And
Spencer picks up his first, Garden City's 15th foul. Pratt already has 10 fouls, so Garden City, as you pointed out a little bit ago, that didn't shoot a free throw in the first half. They have 13 attempts here in the second half. Here's Ekwu to the line. First of 2 is in and out. I've mentioned Western New York and all these New York guys. Sean Flynn is a Boston native, so he grew up on the East Coast. So why not go into your old stomping grounds and recruit some of the best basketball players? And they put together some talented rosters the last couple of years. 16-10 this year. They have wins over Barton and Hutch. In fact, they swept the season series from Barton. Ekwu hits 2 free throws.
There is more and more parity in the league than when I was coaching. You know, we mentioned it earlier. It would appear, unless a mistake has been made, that the Hutch women lost to Dodge City tonight.
Yep.
Which, that
just doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense. But, you know, on the men's side, too, a lot of teams have beaten a lot of teams. And it just goes to show the parity that's in the league.
1 of 2 for Ekwu. It's a 2-point Pratt lead. Brockbuster ball. Bryant twisting and turning in the lane. No, but Traylon Spencer on the offensive glass lays it in.
Traylon Spencer, big-time play.
Tied once again.
Tipping that baby back in.
69 all. 5:19 remaining second half. Pratt ball from left to right, and there's Tommy Thomas once again with a deflating three-pointer from the right corner.
It's all right. Just need to get it back here.
72-69 Pratt, 5:05 to go second half. Beavers have knocked down 9 threes. It's a team, they shoot a lot of threes a game, 28 of them. Spencer turnaround in the paint, and he answers for Garden with a right-hand hook.
Great
off
move.
the glass.
Great move. It's exactly what you needed to do. No panic, just next possession. Let's get a stop here.
72-71 Pratt with a 1-point lead. Their ball left to right. Horton is fouled right slot. That's the last foul Garden City has to give, and it's on Bryant. Traylon Spencer now with 12 points. What a bounce-back game for him. He hasn't shot the ball great. 12 points, 5 rebounds for Spencer. Second foul on Bryant, 16 foul on Garden. It's Pratt ball up 1. Garden has not led since early in the game. Horton in from the right corner to the right elbow. Turnaround, no. Spencer tips the rebound to Chavez for Garden City. And the Brockbusters can take their first lead since the opening half.
I'd love to see us go inside to either Spencer.
Spencer, a blocking foul low left, and Pratt is over the limit.
Take it.
That's on Egan.
I sure like that we pounded it inside. Pick your point. Don't care if it's Mike, don't care if it's Traylon Spencer, but make sure that ball enters the post.
Garden City has not led since the 15-minute mark of the first half. They're up 7-5. Second foul called on Egan. 2 free throws for Spencer, first of which is in and out. We've had 3 ties in the game and 3 lead changes, all in the first few minutes of the game. The lead changes, that is, as Spencer hits 1 of 2 for Garden City, and he ties the game again. 72 all.
The chess match begins, you know. 4.5 minutes, you played each other fairly even.
4:24 to go second half, 72 all. It's Pratt ball when we come back on 99.9 The Rock. Alongside Nick Salazar, Mike Pilosoff here at Conestoga Arena. 4.5 to go, second half, tied at 72.
I was going to say the chess match will be exciting. I was curious to see what defensive, how they would choose to guard. Looks like Garden City comes out in the man. A little bit unexpected for Pratt. I think they were expecting zone.
Pratt has it left to right, 72-72 deadlock. Beavers with a few timeouts remaining. Queth an air ball lefty hook. And it sails to the right, out of bounds. And it goes back over to Garden and a chance to take the lead. Garden City has one timeout left. Mikey Frazier at the top of the key with 4 minutes to go. Chavez wing right, comes left, spins in the paint. Leaner is off the back rim twice. Spencer the offensive rebound, and he's fouled right block.
Again, I like that we were aggressive. We attacked the basket.
And Pratt calls a timeout. They have 5 timeouts remaining. Garden City with 1. 3:49 to go here in the second half. Traylon Spencer at the line when we come back. That second foul called on Tommy Thomas. 72 all on 99.9 The Rock. Alongside Nick Salazar, Mike Pilosoff at Conestoga Arena. 72 all, 3:49 remaining, second half. Rockbusters have a chance to take their first lead since the 15-minute mark. 2 free throws for Spencer. And the first is good. Garden City has the lead. And Pratt wants to call another timeout. I don't know if they're trying to ice the shooter or make this game go past 10 o'clock. 3:49 to go second half, 73-72 Garden City. One more for Spencer when we come back on 99.9 The Rock. .349 to go second half. One more free throw for Traylon Spencer. Garden up 73-72. They've trailed by as many as 11. They were up by 4. Spencer free throw is good. And the Brockbusters are up 2. 74-72. They've scored the last 5. It's Pratt ball left to right. Beavers 4 timeouts. Brockbusters with 1. Garden City 16 fouls. Pratt with 10. Possession arrow favors Garden. Ackrew with Horton. Queth, Tommy Thomas, and Davis. Ekwu slipping back door, and it's off the right thigh. Mikey Frazier, so it stays with Pratt.
Mike did a good job of getting his hand on the ball and deflecting it out because he got beat slightly there. Again, Garden City looked a little confused at how they were playing that pick and roll. It's something we got to absolutely get figured out here in the last 4 minutes of the game.
Queth rejected by Spencer. Spencer's got it for Garden City. Blockbusters in possession, right to left. 3:23 to go in the second half. What a defensive play by Traylon Spencer. Blockbusters with a 2-point edge. Chavez at the top, goes right, feeds Frazier low right. Knocked away and stolen by Ekwu. 9th Blockbuster turnover. Thomas shovels for Queth, deflected. Saved by Ekwu, foul on extended left for Pratt. Up top, Horton 3. He's got it! Cold-blooded triple for Horton, and Pratt regains the lead.
Derek Bryant was a little bit late on the scramble.
75-74 Pratt. Beavers by 1. Garden ball right to left. Chavez with a jab step left wing. He's got 19 points on 6 of 12. Three-pointer Chavez on the left wing is off to the right. And Deontay Davis is 7th rebound. Those are the shots that you live with a guy like Talib Chavez.
Well, I mean, again, your best scorer, your best three-point shooter, you live with it, but you still would have liked to have seen that ball touch the paint at least one time prior to him throwing it up.
Horton misses a layup left of the lane. Traylon Spencer, the defensive rebound for Garden. Blockbusters down 1 with the ball. Bryant, Frazier, Chavez, Spencer, and Osborne. Derek Bryant replacing the injured Caleb Favors. High post right side Frazier. Up top Chavez. Left wing Osborne. Feeds the post left side Spencer. Backing down Queth. Right hand hook short. Offensive rebound tipped out of bounds off of Pratt. Shot clock resets to 20 with 1:55 to go.
Absolutely like the idea, Mike. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I was going to say 75-74. Pratt by 1. It's Garden City ball. Inline left inbound Osborne. Bryant, quarter court left. Comes back right, shadowed by Horton. Pratt in a man-to-man. Spencer sets a ball screen. He rejects. Goes right. They hedge on the screen. To the foul line, Spencer. Right lane line, push shot way off the mark. And Tommy Thomas has it for Pratt. His 10th rebound. 22 points and 10 rebounds. His first double-double of the year.
No biggie. Just got to get a stop here.
90 seconds to go. Pratt ball left to right. Ekwu feeds the post, low left. Horton backing down Bryant. And a traveling violation on Horton.
That is dodging a bullet there. Smart move by Pratt, trying to find a guard that they feel like they could post up. They get Derek Bryant on the post up and they hit him. Shuffles his feet.
Horton, the redshirt sophomore transfer from Seward, turns 22 in May. Just turned it over. Blockbuster ball right to left, down 1. 75-74 with a minute 20. Osborne left arc, comes right against Davis. Hounding defense by Deontay Davis. Chavez has it. Pull up, 18-footer. He's got it! Chavez puts it in! 21 for Talib.
Big time jumper for him right there.
Garden City 76, Pratt 75. 58 seconds to go. When they need him most, Chavez is money. Pratt's got it left to right. Horton to Queth, left corner. Defended by Spencer. Blockbusters in a man-to-man. Queth with 8 points on 3 of 12. To the rim, slashing left to right. And Queth is fouled. At the beginning of the year when you watch Talib Chavez, I don't think he could create his own shot the way he's been able to do it the last 4 or 5 games. And he's had to, scoring 27, 31. Right on that last possession was a perfect example. Creating his own shot, finding some space, and knocking down the go-ahead jumper.
Well, this is the best competition he's probably ever played in his life. And so you would anticipate a smart kid and a talented kid like that is going to continue to improve every single game.
Queth knocks down the first of 2 free throws for Pratt. Garden City's 7th team foul. Queth is 77% free throw shooter. And he ties the game with 43 seconds to go. One more free throw for Queth. Got them both. And Pratt calls timeout. So Pratt goes back on top 77-76. 43 seconds to go here in the second half on 99.9 The Rock. Garden City down 1 with 43 seconds. 77-76, Pratt. Blockbuster ball right to left. 1 timeout remaining for them, 3 for Pratt. Team fouls, Blockbuster 7, Beavers with 10. Spencer low left, lefty hook, no, it slides off the right rim, and Eck the rebound for Pratt. Spencer is 4 of 12. There's about a 2-second
foul here, right?
differential shot clock to game clock, and Bryant fouls Jamel Horton, who's an 82% free throw shooter. He's 8th in the conference in free throw percentage.
I do like the play call there. They got the ball into Traylon Spencer. You saw Mikey dive to the basket. Again, they did everything they needed to do. They just couldn't finish the play.
3rd foul on Bryant. It's a 1-and-1 here for Horton. Again, really good free throw shooter, the redshirt sophomore from Queens, New York. And he hits the front end, earns the bonus. Pratt is 10 of 14 at the stripe here tonight, 78-76 Pratt.
He makes a shot. You still don't need a 3. You need a quick 2. You need to extend the game. Foul anyone other than him.
Foul me. 2nd free throw for Horton. Pratt with a 2-point lead, 23 seconds to go. Rattles in. Garden saving that timeout. Pratt has come back the last 4 points after that Chavez made bucket, put Garden in front. Blockbusters down 3 with 20 seconds to go. Chavez has it. Quarter court left. Comes back right. They hedge on the screen. Frazier straight away. Back for Talik with 10 seconds. Goes to the wing. Behind the back. Fall away 3. Off the mark. An air ball out of bounds to Pratt with 4.5 seconds. You didn't need the 3, but by the time you took the shot.
I was going to say, they really did let the clock roll down to where I think that was the only appropriate shot you could get at that point.
John Flynn screaming for a timeout. Doesn't get it, but on the inbounds they foul Queth. And the game could be iced right here. Blockbusters have a timeout to use, but if he makes 1 free throw, the game's over. They had the ball in the hands of the guy they wanted, Talik Chavez.
Well, in the possession before that, you got the ball inside to Traylon Spencer. You know, Mike was on the backside. Again, it's basketball. Sometimes the shot goes in, sometimes it doesn't.
Queth hits the front end of the 1-and-1, and that seals the game.
I feel bad for Garden City. They really battled. The beginning of the game, I said I thought that the only way they'd be able to make up the difference would be at the free throw line. They did that. The numbers don't lie, but at the end of the day, basketball is about players making plays, and unfortunately Pratt had some players make a couple of plays at the end of the game that will ultimately help them win it.
Queth hits both free throws. Garden City comes back right to left, down 5 in the final seconds. Chavez just throws one up from 35